4 selections for tomorrow. Possibly we might touch on a 5th horse in one of the races. Saturday's racing, the Irish Derby is on. I haven't got a massive opinion in that race, but I will touch on it, of course, as it's such a great race. And we'll come to that in a minute. First, I just want to touch on Chester tomorrow, the 155. There's no market open for this race yet. Silencer. It's got a good draw in stall 1 and I expect it to win. I don't know what price it'll be. It's a beautiful looking horse. It's obviously a bit quirky and a bit cagey, taking a minute to get going, but I do think 5 furlongs is this horse's bread and butter, and I think at this stage of its career, coming in off the back of a much better run than I thought it was capable of in Ascot, I think it should be very, very hard to beat tomorrow. So don't know what kind of price they'll make it, we'll see. Right, then in the 225 at Newcastle, Sense a Duty, a pint win. What can I say about this filly? She's just a really improver. She'll have to be good again to win this race. It's a trappy race. It's on the all-weather. It's a good day's racing at Newcastle. But she is on the up, and she showed a lot of guts the last day to beat off a decent filly in Flotus, who then went on to run a screamer in Ascot. So that's in the 225. And then in the 255 at Newcastle, what a race this is. The Northumberland Vase. So evaluation or evolution, I think it's evaluation. Evaluation has been a revelation for New Connections on the turf. Been really looking like a horse that's just soaring through the ranks. And when it won the last day, I even said to myself, geez, it's possible this horse could end up a cup horse one day. It just won so well off a slow pace. It just really, you know, the way it won off a very slow pace was very impressive, because the last 100 yards is only when it really got into form. Now, it's very well bred. It's going back on the all-weather. Will that help or hinder? I don't know. But I do think evaluation, you definitely go a pint each way at 13-2. And in the same race, in the 255 in Newcastle, I want to take on 2 against the field. It's a massive field. The bookies will be paying lots of places. Jeremiah ran an evaluations race the last day in Musselburgh, but you can draw a line through it for Jeremiah because he dropped out the back and they went so slow the whole way. I'm willing to just cross off that race and then go back to his previous run, which was behind evaluation as well in York, but was a very good run. And I will say one thing, he has won on the all-weather. I think he's ran on 3 different surfaces on the all-weather, and he has won on them. So Jeremiah, I think Paul Mulrennan takes the ride for Jim Goldie. I go a pint each way at 10-1. So him an evaluation against the field in a whopping handicap race. And then in the 315 at Newmarket, I'm going to take the outsider of the field here because I am a donkey. A pint win at 20-1, Bass Player. I think Bass Player is much better than the result in Epsom. I think he ran very green and he showed me lots of ability. Can he step up and win a very good race tomorrow? I don't know, but at 20-1, I want to definitely give him a shot. I'm going to stick a pint win on him at 20-1. There's only 7 runners, so I'll just go for it. Look, he looks a nice horse. Yes, there's some decent horses in this race, the likes of Lanaquash and all them horses, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bass Player is a very decent horse himself. Whether he takes another couple of runs to show it, who knows? But at 20-1, it will give him a chance. Right, touch on the Irish Derby tomorrow. Fully raced, to be fair. I feel a bit weird that a filly is in the race. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? I just think a filly shouldn't be allowed to run in it. I think, and you say why, and I don't know why. I haven't even got a good reason for it. But I just think, the derbies are to create a generational stallion, or to create a pathway to breeding success for the colts, you know. So I don't know. What do you think? Should fillies be allowed running the derby? She has a massive chance. I'm not going to have a bet on the derby tomorrow. I do think there's just no pace in the race. There's one, Paddy Toomey's horse that could go on, all right. But I do think if Colin Keenan is to win it on Westover, he should maybe take the lead, just go from the front, or he mightn't get any pace to run at. you'd have Tuesday, very pacey filly, you know, coming from the Guineas route on to winning the Oaks. She's going to have a gear change for sure. Westover, although he stayed in the Derby and he flew home, he wasn't slow. Everyone's going, oh, he didn't look too slow. But for against a filly like Tuesday, she would have a lot of gears. So it's interesting. Hannibal Barca, good horse Joseph O'Brien got out of things. I wouldn't say a mile and a half. It's yet to be seen. Will it really be suiting to him? But he looks like he might get it the way he won the last day. But, you know, he's by Sophony out of a mare that I think won a mile and a quarter race. But definitely an interesting runner too. Lionel, I really like Lionel. It's hard to know how good he is yet. But I worry for him it might be too tactical of a race and he could be staying on when the race is over. Maybe a horse that could show up in the Ledger, Lionel. But I do think it could be a dangerous race unless Colin Keane really goes after the pacemaker. I can't see him dropping in third or fourth and letting Tuesday sit second to a really slow pace or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a race I'm not having a bet on. Yeah, what do I think? I think if they go slow, it opens the door for a couple of them. Hannibal Barca and Tuesday maybe be suited to the steadier to go. And if they go a good end-to-end gallop, I think the favourite then is definitely, it'll be very hard to beat the favourite for sure. Let's just hope it's not a muddling race and we get a true end-to-end gallop and the best horse wins. Because there's nothing worse than watching, you know, a muddling pace and then you 5 of them in a blanket. I hope to go a good end-to-end gallop and then I think, Westover should get it done. Interesting race. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. There always is the Gain Railway Stakes there as well. I do think Crispy Cat, if they ride him a bit more, don't just over force him on the pace a bit. In Sandown, he was mugged, but it's hard to go fast in front in Sandown and hang on. You need to take your time. So I hope they ride him with a bit more restraint. Right, anyway, he was on Lucky in Ascot too. Right, there's my view for tomorrow. Enjoy the racing and be back there next week. Alright, take care and God bless.